start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, and I really don't have any announcements except to say welcome back, Bridget and Emma. It's good to see you. And we do have hearing of delegations, so you have the floor. Not you guys.
So I can introduce and start. So this are representatives from Chalmers Insurance. I'll let them introduce myself,
Sure.
or themselves, sorry. So, I'm Sue, sorry. So Robin Edgecombe had contacted me and said Chalmers really wanted to do something for the school and our community, and we were going to do this earlier, and it just didn't work out, but I said we need school supplies year round. So I know Robin and Morgan have been instrumental, but I'll let you take over and just talk a little, and I think we wanted to take a nice little picture just to thank them for this lovely donation for our students. So
I'm gonna let Morgan take the floor. Morgan is our community champion. She is the one who organizes things and with our involvement in the town.
Yep, so I took on this role in June this year, so I just kind of like put out some ideas to the group in Cornish. We actually have other people from other offices here as well, and I think that we did pretty good this year. I think next year we'll probably do even better because we had a short time frame and then contacting the school to like set something up to present it. But yeah, I'm Morgan. I'm from the Cornish office.
I'm Mary Kate. I work at the Gorham office.
I'm Michaela. I work at the Freiburg office.
I'm Maddie. I work at the Cornish office.
And we all kind of pitched in to collect up school supplies for the community. We thought it was great, and we had a good turnout this year. Like I said, it was short and quick, but it was really awesome. So thank you for having us.
Our board member has a question.
Tell Randy, from Mrs. Hoxie, I want to know where he is.
We will. We'll tell him in the morning. We'll tell him to report to the principal's office.
So you wanted to get a picture?
I think a picture would be lovely, so if you don't mind.
No,
I don't know what
go
that
for it.
This is brand new. We've never really done this kind of
No,
thing.
it's
So I just thought it was a great opportunity for the board who doesn't, just to be part of recognizing that our community really does support our schools.
Could they
and what
kind
we're
of
doing.
summarize things that are in here?
Yeah, sure. We did categorize a list of everything we collected up. We collected up 197 items between folders, binders, erasers, markers, things for the teachers like Clorox wipes, tissues, Sharpies, highlighters, expo markers, literally a wide variety of everything. I kind of just summarized a list of things that I could remember that I needed in school, and yeah, we all came together, so.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Super. Okay, picture time. Do you want to go up front with the items? Do you mind? Does your team mind going there? Carl, do Dr. Landry and Judy on behalf, and maybe Missy want to be in the picture too?
Yeah, sure. Going on the wrong side, I think. Someone's gonna come on this side. It's gonna look a little awkward, all right.
Perfect.
Missy, are you joining us?
No, I'm good.
Can you zoom it all in, Miss Day?
I have you all in. Perfect. Thank you. Super.
Thank you so much. That's great. Thank you
Water
very
crayon,
much.
yes.
And wipes?
Yep, Clorox tissues, yes. Pencil boxes,
Thank you
tape.
so much. Thanks for coming down from Freiburg and Gorham.
Yeah. I live right around here.
There you go.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
So, there's no Jill and no Brad right now.
And no Danny.
And no.
Danny.
And Danny.
There's Brad.
All right, student report. Well, let me get the other stuff done. We have a quorum.
They were ready. Did you see what they took the chairs? They're excited. Take it away.
Number 2 on the agenda, consideration to approve the minutes for the September 6th, 25th, And October 18th, Board of Directors.
So moved.
Bradley.
All those in favor?
I miss you,
please raise
Jolene,
your hand.
okay.
They are
There is
approved.
one of those I wasn't here for, so all but that one.
Missy.
That's right.
The
me too.
October.
I think we've said, it's okay, you can abstain if you'd like, but I think we've said, as long as you looked them over and
Oh,
you're
okay.
fine with them, I think it's okay to vote. I think that's fine.
No, I'll abstain on the 18th.
18.
I have no idea what happened to you.
Okay, abstain 18, and Missy, is there a day you'd like to abstain from in particular?
The 18th, I
18,
was
two
not here.
abstains from the 18, Missy Allison. I have it, thank you.
Number 3, consideration to approve the proposed agenda for the November 1st, 2023 Board of Directors meeting.
Jolene Bradley.
All those in favor? Approved. Now, student report.
Good evening. During October, the members of the Yellow Tulip team organized a school-wide planting of tulip bulbs in front of high school. 5 of the tulip bulbs were planted on that day. The mission of the Yellow Tulip team is to smash the stigma around mental illness. Thank you to Ms. Sanborn for all your hard work that went into making this activity a learning opportunity for the whole student body. Senior Dylan Capano is the first registered main apprentice in the ELO program. Dylan is a registered apprentice with Grondon. Not only is Dylan receiving a credit through the ELO program, but he is also a paid employee of the company. Homecoming week was a huge success this year. The theme was Wild West, and students engaged in many fun activities all week long, ending with the Wild West Homecoming Dance. Thank you to Ms. Goodfield and the Student Council for making this week a fun and engaging time.
17 students in grade 9 through 11 are part of the Can We project. These students had their first retreat on November 1st. The goal of the Can We project is to help school students learn the skill to engage in dialogue across political differences. As a part of this project, students are going to help build a statewide network of students with diverse backgrounds and political viewpoints that want to learn the skill of civil dialogue across political and other differences. Thank you to Ms. Sanborn for her efforts to bring this initiative to Sacopee Valley.
Do we have that?
No.
All
No,
2020
we don't.
No.
Okay. Is there some way that maybe Becky can email that to us?
Yeah, she can email it to you for sure. So this first one we kept just with the kids, but yeah, she can certainly email them going
That
forward.
would be great. So I missed the name of the group that's going to work on political discourse. What was the name of
The
that?
Can We project.
Got it.
Okay. All 2023 fall sports seasons have come to an end. The girls varsity soccer team made it to the first round of playoffs but did not move forward from there. Boys varsity had a hard-fought season but unfortunately wasn't able to make it into the playoffs. Field hockey had a winning season and made it to the first round of playoffs but didn't go any further. In Sacopee history, the boys football team has never won more than 3 games, but this year passed the record and won 5. Also, Sacopee boys football has never made the playoffs until this year they had their first ever home playoff game against Booth Bay and won 22-20. They played yesterday at their final playoff game against Old Orchard Beach, but unfortunately lost. Yeah. The Sacopee Valley Junior Classical League is preparing to go to their fall convention at Freeport High School on December 1st. While there, they will compete against other schools in school spirit and their knowledge in grammar, mythology, history, and culture of ancient Rome and Greece. Mr. Stevenson is looking forward to sending about 20 Sacopee students to the event.
You both are on on student council, right? Or what?
I'm not sure.
I am.
You are, okay.
Due to budget cuts, the individual on the left is Bridget Landers. She doesn't have her name tag yet, but we'll be sure to get it. So Bridget Landers on your left, she's a junior.
I think everyone knew that, but that's okay.
Okay, all right, just to make sure, just to further embarrass your bitch. Thought I'd do that.
Any questions for the students? All right, well, Bridget, you enjoy your junior year, and Emma, class of 24. Wow. Thank you for coming, and we look forward to seeing you next
Thank
month.
you.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'll wait for my cue.
Finance committee.
So we met this morning. The report is similar to most months. State subsidy has been received, recorded. All 5 towns are in. Operating revenues as in Most months continue to exceed expenses, and expenses are in line with budget. Food service, you'll notice, has started to gain ground. As we do, we've started receiving revenue for this year. We start really behind. We will gain significant ground as we move on. Food service team's doing a wonderful job, and adult ed revenues and expenses are both in line with budget, with an excess of revenue. So another great finance report this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Construction and transportation.
I'll take, oh no, Jenny can take her. I'd be happy to take it, Jen. Whatever you- Great, so I'd be happy to take it today, Jen. So, very brief meeting in this regard, not a lot happening, and most of it, I thought Sue Day and Jana Murphy did a wonderful job at the State of the Schools, just updating you. The security grant, SBPP, that the board approved, Sue's doing a wonderful job of chasing that down. As a reminder of folks that weren't at the October 18th, increasing the safety and security of our schools, doors, cameras, etc. Sue made a beautiful presentation, and we'll pursue that grant and see how that goes, so we're still working on that. Van purchase for student transportation. Janet Murphy updated her local entitlement special education grant. We're waiting to see if the state will approve the purchase of that van. If not, I will probably see this board either way for fund balance dollars out of maintenance. I think we are getting to the point that we need a van, but Janet's worked diligently to try and make that happen. Went to a dealership on a Saturday, and anybody that's tried to buy a car lately, we are potentially on a wait list. That's a definite maybe for a maybe possible van 6 months out that may or may not come. So I wish I had better than definite maybes, but I think it is more challenging than you think to buy a vehicle. And go ahead, I'm gonna do one more anyway, so the perfect stopping point, because I need your help as a board for my next one, but
What
go right ahead.
What flavor is the van we're shopping?
Toyota Sienna, did I get the
Yep.
Toyota Sienna? So we looked at a few different models and settled on the Toyota Sienna.
Is there a particular reason that was picked, or is it price?
Yep, so we did Honda, we looked at the Honda version of a minivan. We didn't have all-wheel drive, and since we switched to snow tires, we're in Maine, we wanted all-wheel drive, so Honda was out based on that regard, and Toyota was less expensive than the Chrysler Pacifica, so we went with Toyota, but it is difficult, fairly difficult to get a Toyota for the base price, and we want to be responsible with taxpayer money, so we're gonna go on a wait list, so when one comes in the New England area, we'll try and jump on it.
Thank you.
You're welcome, of course, good question. My next one, I needed your help anyway, so here's an interesting story that I'd love your vote for in a second.
Do you want to say that for when you, or no? it's
Yeah,
not-
we can do whatever you
No,
want, we
but
can
it's,
save
we
it for.
need a vote.
I need a
It's
vote,
under
so.
action, yeah.
Okay, so, after visiting a location in Porter, Dr. DeKay, when leaving the residence, he's the school physician, and he's also the health officer for the town of Porter, found that I left with concerns about the school bus pickup on the blind curve where motorists speed along Route 160. As we know, that road is prone to crashes, and the town of Porter found the initial review for consideration putting up a sign, a school bus stop ahead sign, is up to our school district. So then they attach, what's the process for requesting the installation of a school bus stop ahead sign? The school board makes a request to the town board for the installation of a school bus stop ahead sign. The school board should identify where they are requesting the sign to be installed. So my request / suggestion, team, could we please have a vote to request that the town of Porter put up a school bus stop ahead sign near the location as appropriate of 334 Brownfield Road.
So
Keep
would this
children.
require a change to the agenda?
It certainly does, Mr. Perkins. So let's, please, if we'd like to, amend the agenda, and then please take that vote if that vote sounds reasonable and you'd like to amend the
Okay.
agenda.
Motion to amend the agenda.
So moved.
Brad to amend,
Second.
Jolene to a second.
All those in favor to amend the
Should
agenda?
we have comments now that we have, what should we
Discussion?
amend the agenda, should it be discussion?
Go ahead.
That's something else that I wanted to bring up tonight, was, I did this at the last meeting too, made a motion to amend an agenda. I am against it, but I think where this is a safety concern, we need to do it. You know, agendas typically are put out there so that the public, if they want to, have an opportunity to see it and can voice an opinion on things. Okay, again, this is a safety issue, I have no problem with it. And I went to a session last Friday that discussed all of this at all, and in Yarmouth, they do not bend agendas unless it's a crucial thing, a situation where it's safety related, child related, whatever. So I want to throw that in there too. But again, I voted to amend it, and I think we need to do it.
Any other discussion, questions?
So I have a motion second for the,
Yes, we are. Go ahead, Maggie.
Where is this curve? I don't know where.
334 Brownfield Road.
So it's somewhere in the vicinity of probably before the teen camp. So like where my house is, it's
okay.
548.
Anyone
so
got a
it's-
Google map?
I was just curious.
Yeah,
where.
so
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
somewhere
it's-
before that, you come around.
Thank you.
Makes sense.
Thank you.
So it is by well back then.
And so what will happen from here, team, I'll let the town reporter know that you did this vote. I assume they'll order the sign and install it at such a point to try and protect student safety from the buses.
Okay.
Oh.
Have we voted on it?
No,
I was gonna say,
we
we
had a
voted
motion.
on it to
What I
amend.
have is a motion and a second to amend. I don't even have the vote to amend because Brad made a comment subsequent to the motion and second to amend on discussion. So I don't have the full vote to actually amend
Right,
it.
and I brought up about Google under the discussion and Amy is looking.
Trying to see what the closest thing is to it, but it doesn't have much.
There's the,
Really?
there's Stanley
It's that red
Farm.
dot on that map on
I
West.
think it's near the corner near Stanley Cemetery. I think it's kind of that black
Oh,
corner
the
there.
corner of that and then the road that goes up, which is Triptown.
Is it Trip?
Triptown,
Yeah,
right
I
there,
think
yeah.
it's, I think it's in that
That's not
area.
even in Porter.
Yeah, no, that's not Porter.
Oh.
I'm betting if you go past the teen camp and you keep
No, it's-
going,
it's
there's a
walkabout.
wicked vicious right-hand curve.
That's
Water-
in the,
Waterfield
that's
Road
after,
goes off?
Yes,
that's too high in
Yeah.
the numbers though.
it's
It's-
so high in the numbers.
Yeah.
I Googled it and it's somewhere near where Glenn Levitt used to live.
Yeah, it's in between Porter Spring Road and
It's a curve with, I know
Swans
that one
Point.
lived.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
It's in between there. And there's probably on this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Well, you know what, I hope Dr. Decay knows it could be in Hiram, not Porter.
Is this gonna require a field trip?
And gee whiz, it seems like, you know where this person lived and that person lived, and it's by there. Yeah, I think the key thing is, to Bradley's point, I think it is a safety issue. I'd love to get approval to get that sign in so we can get it up. And when I say we, I mean the town.
So we may send our approval to Hiram then instead of Porter.
If that's the
No.
case,
I doubt it, there's nothing
If you-
there.
okay.
Google it, it is
Swan.
Porter.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah,
Swan.
the Google
Porter.
came up Porter.
Thank
Isn't that
you,
by where the
always.
Joys live or right
Yeah.
now?
All right, we have a motion and a second to amend the agenda. All those in favor, raise your hand.
Thank
The
you.
Agenda is amended.
And then I think the vote would be consideration to approve a request to the town board for the installation of a school bus stop ahead sign near the location of 334 Brownfield
So
Road.
moved.
Second.
Judy, Bradley, yep,
All those in favor?
perfect, thank you all so much. I'll let the town reporter know and we'll get to work on trying to get that in.
I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I recently found out that the board chair can move in second, so.
Yeah, all
There you
right.
go.
So look out.
Everybody's learning something, all right.
All right, curriculum committee.
You want me to go?
There you are.
The curriculum committee was held October 11th, 2023. Jana Murphy, our new special ed director, led us in a very, very informative meeting. We're so lucky. I wish she was here tonight. Jana gave the philosophy of special education, which is that students are entitled to support necessary to help them succeed. There are 14 different disabilities in Maine that are recognized. The various types were explained and examples of the procedures were noted so that our students have the opportunity for further success. It is noted that presently we are supporting 239 special ed students in the district. And I think we need to remember that, you know, it might be just a little speech glitch that's being fixed, or someone has hearing problem. It's not all academic or intelligence. I'm also hitting highlights of the program as Jana, our special ed director, presented basically the same information on the October 18th at State of the Schools board meeting. Next meeting scheduled for November 8th, where we will be informed of the present library program.
Any questions for Maggie? Thank you, yeah.
I have a question. It's
Sure, go
not
ahead.
necessarily for Maggie, but that just reminded me because I looked at this. I don't remember if it was at a board meeting or not, but we get the breakdown or the total of special education students in the district. Would it be possible to get that by school so we would know, like, if there's a bigger need at one school than another?
Sure. It would just be hard, the number wouldn't really direct where we might need, because exactly what Mrs. Hoxie's referring to, it could just be a student who has Arctic, who's getting to see a consult once a week for 30 minutes, versus a student who might also require 7 hours a day of one-on-one ed text.
Well, I'm
But-
thinking that I'm just curious to know, and I think if it was already broke out, I wouldn't probably have even asked, but if a lot of it is elementary, like early intervention things that then 1 year later, we're not even dealing with anymore, but
We do have those numbers for state of the schools.
I missed it, my favorite meeting of the year, sorry.
No, I
It was
just,
wonderful.
Yes, it was.
You did a great job.
there are currently, when we did this in October, 95 students with an identified disability at the elementary, not including pre-K. At the middle school, 84, and at the high school, 60.
Verified my suspicion. Okay, thank you.
Yep, Brad?
Melissa just brought up an excellent point about that, and I'm wondering if we do go ahead and find out the information that she's suggesting, if, you know, there can be more of a focus at the elementary level to make the number smaller when they get to the middle school and the high school, to take care of the issues that you're wondering about.
Can be, yeah, things that could be addressed with intervention.
So, because I'm wondering if we need to allocate maybe more money there to, you know, and where it needs to be allocated at, whether it's, you know, speech, hearing, or learning issues, whatever.
Yeah, if you know of a speech pathologist or speech assistant, we would love to have an additional one, you are absolutely right. And we did, you endorsed, we moved a special education teacher to the elementary, so this year there are 2 resource room teachers, but no, it's fine, you can have, absolutely. I think it's just, you always have to be cautious, because they, you know, the number doesn't always represent the need, but, sure.
And pre-K is not part of that number because I know it's because they're not technically our responsibility. for
Yes, we
services,
don't
is that
provide
right?
their disability needs,
Okay.
Yep, exactly.
Good request. Any other questions for Maggie? Thank you. Wellness Committee, we are not meeting yet, but I am sure that when Britt comes back, by the way, his brother passed away, so that's why he is not in the building. We will start it up again. Lake Region, you had a meeting on September 22nd and October 27th. Wow.
No, there was no meeting on October 27th.
Yeah.
Canceled.
It was canceled. It's going to be, I
Oh, of
don't,
course.
I put it in my phone already, but I didn't bring my phone with me. I think it's the
Yeah,
17th.
that makes sense.
And there's a dinner meeting on the 5th, I think.
Okay, and your next meeting is December 8th. So you had no meeting in November.
Yes, I believe it's November 17th. I believe that, but I put it in my phone, but I left my phone in my hunting jacket, so.
Adult Ed Advisory, October 16th meeting.
Yes, the October 16th meeting, we learned that Dave Durkee is leaving at the end of June. He has taken a position with Biddeford and Old Orchard Beach, and part of the deal was he wouldn't continue here. So we'll be looking for a director for that program. And the enrichment program, the numbers for the enrichment programs, in 2019, 2020, there were 520 people who took some portion of the enrichment program, and that dropped in 2021, of course, to about half that number. But now, 22, 23, it's up to 774. So that's really, really good. Let's see. They need a part-time person to do communication and outreach, maybe 20 to 25 hours a week.
Is that Cynthia's old former position?
Well,
No?
I don't know, Martine is doing there and doing high-set testing. I'm not sure exactly how that breaks out. But anyway, they say they need somebody, so. Renee is going to attend a meeting on digital inclusion. There's a group looking at access to the internet in York County, and they will provide Chromebooks. So Renee, I don't know exactly when that meeting is, but Renee was going to go. It's the Southern Maine Planning and Development Commission that's working on that. So we'll probably hear more about that. Also, Adult Ed has received an Adult Education and Family Literacy Association grant of $5,500 this year, and a Maine College and Career Access grant at $8,000 this year. So they're doing quite well with getting grants. The Family Reading Club continues. There's been some decline in the numbers, but there are some new people who have come. Some haven't continued, but they've gotten some new people. Our next meeting is January 8th.
Looks like you were the note taker.
Yeah.
Were you elected, or you just said, I'll do it?
No,
We
Maggie
took
and-
turns.
Maggie and I
Oh,
take turns.
that's a good
Yeah.
I did it last
Yeah.
time.
There you
Right.
go. Thank you.
Any questions?
Well, we heard in finance that Adult Ed is doing very well financially. All right, policy report. Policy committee met on October 11th, and we reviewed KCD, public gifts, donations to schools, IJOC, school volunteers, BCB, board member conflict of interest, BEDH, public participation at school board meetings, which we're going to review again, and EBCA, comprehensive emergency plan, which Susan, I think we're gonna review that again too.
Yep.
So KCD and IJOC and BCB are on our agenda for approval this evening. So,
moved.
Second.
Motion
Jolene and Bradley.
to consider approve the following policies as first read. Yes, Amy?
I have a question about the public comment that you're gonna review. Is there a reason for that?
In school board meetings,
Yeah.
some information came down from the state that we've incorporated into the policy, and Sue, jump in, what else was there?
Yeah, there are some suggestions from MSNA to make to that policy, so.
Okay. Well, I only asked that because when I went to the meeting on Thursday, one of the sessions I sat in was talking about
Yeah.
that, so, okay. Yep.
There's lots to consider, that's why
Brad and then
we felt
Maggie.
like we needed another.
I don't think we attended any of the same sessions, but one of the ones I went to also said, which we have traditionally called now as hearing of delegations. I believe it was Drummond Woodson said that it should be public comment.
Makes sense.
That same comment came up in mine, but Drummond didn't do the one that I did. It was the MSMA. I don't know what he was, but he did that one. There was discussion about that, and a lot of communities changed it to public comment.
Makes sense.
Because instead of, what would the other public, something else, because we don't necessarily have to engage in conversation, so it's really just comment. You can come, comment, and that's it.
Yep.
Participation. Some people had public participation, and that's misleading because they could come. We necessarily don't have to.
In other words, there's no feedback from the board, and that's why they use
It's
the word
like,
comment.
when we suspend people, kids, we can't feedback back and forth with mom or dad or the kid, except under the part where it says where they can speak if they would like to at this point.
The other thing also, delegation, the connotation of delegation many times would, I would think, and I think most people would, it's more than one group. A delegation is not just
Yeah,
one
like
person.
tonight, was like a delegation, yeah. Maggie?
With policy BCB, I think, I read these last week, and I think that was the one I was thinking about. Is there a particular situation where there is gonna be a conflict of interest? Is it like, the only thing I could think of was, if somebody wanted to coach and, well, we were a member of the board or something.
So the one that is done at the end of 23-24, as permitted by 20A MRSA, the spouse of a board member may be permitted to serve as a stipend employee, i.e. coach, on a contractual basis when this action is in the best interest of students and a summation of potential conflicts of interest is documented and mitigations are described. This exception is for 23-24 only, so after this year, that's it. Unless they renew. I don't know what the legislature is going to do, but right now, that's it.
Okay.
Any other questions? So we have a motion and a second on the floor for these three policies. Any more discussion? All those in favor? Raise your hand. Thank you. And then consideration to approve the following policies as a second read and adoption, IKF, graduation requirements. So moved.
Second.
Judy, Brad.
Any discussion on those? Any questions about it? Okay, all those in favor? Superintendent's report.
Okay, so just read the list of names for anybody watching. Appointments, Scott Ames, maintenance prevention, Don Burnham, custodian. That's great. We're short some folks in that world, as the board knows, so those two great pickups for us. Resignation, Shannon Ryman, payroll clerk, Joe Wilson, special ed educational technician at the elementary, Jack Howland, custodian at the elementary, Michelle Frey, van driver, Haley Blaisdell, grade 2 teacher at the elementary school, Jamie Scott, custodian at the middle school, Don Locke, varsity boys track, Jacob Hutton, assistant track coach. So those are the appointments, resignations. Since
Jack Howland doing something else?
Jack
now?
Holland is now substituting for us
There you
at
go.
the elementary school. Yeah, that's true.
Good.
Review of fall learning plan. Things are going very well. Obviously, I think Thursday and Friday were tough days for school districts across the state. And in terms of the plan that you approved, students coming to school and the procedures and all the things that we're doing as a school system, I think are going very well. Speaking of Thursday, Friday, I have no new information about this, but just to put it out there, I think districts are considering what to do with those days, i.e. snow, remote, wave. I'm not sure what the right course of action is. I'm not sure. I don't have enough information about it, but tag, I think there is conversation about what to do with those two really tragic and unique days that school systems experienced at the end of last week. I'll keep you posted as I find out more, but I think conversations have started about what to do.
Before we go into executive session, Brad and Amy, I think you're the only two from the board that went to the conference. Is there anything that you would like to share? You've already shared a couple of things.
Well, it's I've been to a conference similar to this in municipal government world, but this was specific for schools. I went Thursday, so Brad gave me good advice, first and second choice, and then, of course, in light of what happened that day, some things were canceled. So think I ended up my first session on like my 5th choice, which was about absenteeism and what schools do for that. Then I attended, which is the reason I went this day, was the negotiations put on by Drummond, which was excellent. They're real savvy, and you know, they put on a good presentation. In the afternoon, I did take a fun one called Maine Loves Public Schools, which is kind of a social media thing. Actually, Miss Day would probably, you might know about it, where they taught us how to use our phone. A young, savvy kid taught us how to use our phone and take clips and how to take a good video. I learned a lot about my phone in 20 minutes to do this program. And I think they're going to be combining with the annual Teacher of the Year stories. It's kind of similar to what they do, but they're going to collaborate. It was cool. It was a good way to end the day. I hung out with Brad all day. He drove me there and back.
How was the pie at lunch?
We had chocolate cake.
No other choice.
No other choice. We were too late for the dessert.
But you could have had all you wanted, Cal.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Good food.
That's still going on, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the food is usually
They had
very
music. There was a band there. Brad won a million prizes.
good. Yeah. Who posted that picture?
Sorry.
I saw the picture of you with your
One
winner.
of those winnings.
Oh, that wasn't over yet. That was only.
That was
there
only the
more?
beginning. I took the picture when he won like 3 prizes. He ended up with, I don't know. They wanted to kick him out.
You had a black and red check jacket on the picture I saw. So that was only one prize?
I had a blue blazer on, and
Oh.
it was basic, the stuff, the first one I won, I looked it up on the internet, it was $500, excuse me, it was $250,
Fire pit.
yeah, fire pit, yeah,
Wow.
stainless steel fire pit.
Bella.
But it was amazing.
Did you win?
Cabela,
I won
gift
nothing.
cards, Bean gift cards.
He won everything.
I had a bag of stuff for an elementary street teacher that I gave to Heidi Sturgeon.
Oh,
Big
Yeah, that was
big
really
bag
cool.
of stuff.
wow.
So it was,
Oh, great.
after the third round up there, the people started saying, why don't you go buy a lottery ticket?
Well, thank you for the summary. I wanted to go, but I just didn't feel comfortable being in Augusta.
So one of the ones that I went to was with Andy Dahl, who was the superintendent down in Yarmouth. I'd already thought about this before and had no idea, but it was on school board superintendent relations. And he built into his program was the thing about adding things to the agenda during a meeting, which the public has not been made aware of. And I'm thinking, well, I've already done it before, and I did it again tonight. I'm wondering how.
So what did he say? That we don't need to amend the agenda? Or?
No, you don't take it up. You put it on the agenda for the next meeting.
Oh.
Because, you know, in many cases, in his, one example he gave was Yarmouth High School has a sailing club. And they typically take up everything at the beginning of the year that's going to require money and all, and approve it right then. Well, the sailing club wanted to take it, they've been offered some assistance to go to Martha's Vineyard. And it wasn't on the initial presentation at the beginning of the year, so it had to be brought up, and it had to be brought up at that meeting because of the date, the time frame it was in. And he said, I normally try to do everything I can do to discourage that, but he said we had to do it in that case. But he said there was a very rare one that we do it. He said because in some cases you could be nailed to the wall because somebody in the public said, I was interested in that. Why didn't you let me know about that?
But what about, didn't you say in the case of emergency?
And that's how I justified what I just said tonight.
Yeah, right.
That,
Okay.
you
Or
know,
safety,
it's
I
a
guess.
safety issue.
Yeah.
The last thing I'll say is Mr. Perkins was correct, from David Morris, the Lake Region, for anybody interested, Friday, November 17 at 9 a.m. at the Books. That's the reschedule.
Right, good. right, so superintendent's report is done. Okay. I guess we need a motion to go into executive session, MRSA section 4056A.
So moved.
Bradley,
Second.
Jolene,
All those in favor? We're in executive session.